Hello and welcome to a mini masterclass from the Boss Books Collectives. I'm your book doula, Emily Bauman. Pew, pew, pew. Today we're going to be talking about the all-important element of your book description. So this is what goes on the back of your book, and it's what goes on Amazon on the description page. It's going to propel people to buy your book, even if they've never heard of you. And when we do it right, it really fosters this word of mouth avalanche of sales. So let's dive into the components of a book description. I've created a Google document that you can just look and use as your own template. It's a fill in the blank document and I think you're really gonna like it. Go on. I'll say that I made a juvenile error of having a book description that was too long with my first book. It was just tiny font. And then my second one, I went for a poem and then an author description here. So it's blurring out, not helpful. But if it's a book of poetry, you're just gonna have a poem probably and your author bio. If it's a nonfiction book like Born to Write, then you're going to have the book description and the author bio. So, what makes a really good book description? Let me share here. I'm going to share a screen with you. And we're going to look at the different components. And this is going to empower you to fill in the blanks and do it in a way that feels like you are just as professional as someone at any of the top publishing houses. So here's the document that I'm sharing with you. We have our hook. Super important to hook people in, like learn how to be this or that, or overcome this, or go on this journey. Then the dilemma that the person is facing. Does dilemma solving sentences, like how do you get results? What do you do? Or if it's a memoir, what is the big idea? What is the scope? Author credibility, like who are you? What have you done? And ending with an open loop, we're going to talk about that really quickly. Every single word counts and it's going to all flow together. So we have this structure, very masculine structure, and then your divine flow gets to go inside of it. So just like a great cover design draws you in, a good book description captures your energy and is like, yes, this is worth reading. This means focusing on the boldest claim, the most sensational fact, the most compelling idea right out of the gate. And then nonfiction books generally have a return on investment. People feel like if I read this, I'm going to feel a certain way. If I read this, I'm going to be inspired. I'm going to learn. I'm going to get something out of it. If I have a problem or a desire, or just sometimes that desire is to feel understood or seen or escape. So, what unsolved problems or feelings does your reader have, or what unachieved aspirations? Articulate it. And then we're going to talk about how the book solves their dilemma and what they're going to get out of it in bullet points. I really recommend you have bullet points because people like to read things in an F structure. So big up front and then make it get smaller, 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 smaller. Okay, that's the best way for the way that people scan and read. So have the big text up front and then bullet points and then a light ending. Author credibility is an interesting one because you might think, I haven't done anything worth talking about. Maybe you've been a nurse for 10 years. That's credibility. Maybe you have been to 65 different countries. That makes you a really bona fide traveler. Maybe you've been a human design expert for 13 years or a leader, or maybe you invented a whole new way of making people become alcohol free. So all of that is what you would be known for. Make sure you insert it in your book description. And creating an open loop is an art form. This open loop is about giving people enough information about what they're going to learn and gain without telling them all the details of how. Because you want them to feel compelled. It's like a cliffhanger at the end of a show or a series where you want to watch the next episode, you want to watch the next installment. So this is an art form. People like to understand the basics of how as well as the what, but they really don't get all of it. You have to give them just enough of the breadcrumbs and lead them to purchase your book. So I won't go into all the descriptions and examples, But here are some really rich things for you to study, and I break it down, tell you why it all works, what makes it good, and so you can flow with this yourself, okay? I wish you luck. I wish you inspiration. Remember, you don't have to get it right on the first draft. You can tweak it and work with it. Ask your book what it wants to be known for. And the final thing that I'll say here is that a good book cover and a book description can inspire you. If you're feeling flagging enthusiasm for your project or wondering, is anyone really going to care that I go through all this effort? Is anyone going to read it outside of my family and close friends and some clients? This book description is your hype tool. And it's like, oh, I did that. I wrote that. This book is going to do all of that for you. And so please fill out this template, get yourself a fabulous book description, and let it continue to serve you. Help it just engage your trust that this book matters so much. It really does. And it's a story and a piece that only you could write. You and your story matter to people that you won't even get to meet. Think about that for a second. You're not even going to get to meet all your readers. They're just going to be impacted at a heart and soul and life level. So write this description, let it fire you up, and let it light up the path of this book out into the world. Okay? I'll see you in our next live call inside of the Boss Books Collectives every Monday, 3 p.m. EST, here to answer your questions, coaching, and offer some nuggets of advice. Okay. Mwah. Bye for now. Book Doula Emily over and out. Pew, pew, pew.